So listen, I can't see my chat, so you're gonna take care of that, okay? Okay, so we're not gonna keep you waiting. We have 30 minutes. We're gonna go through a quick overview of PowerUp 2. So, as you know, PowerUp is the company that invented, produced the controlled smartphone controlled paper airplanes. We have a few different models that are offered, and this morning we're going to actually talk about PowerUp 2. PowerUp 2 is the model that is not controlled. It's a free flight model, and the purpose of the call today is to go over some really quickly over some hot tips to get you going, and then to get some questions and answers from you. If you own a PowerUp 3, PowerUp Dart, PowerUp FPV, you're welcome to stay at the session to learn more about this concept. And tomorrow we're going to have also a session for PowerUp Dart 3 and FPV. So again, thank you for joining us this morning and happy holiday. And before we're going to jump in, I just want to recommend that after the session, you check out the description below. There are some links to video tutorials, folding, pre-flight launching of the PowerUp 2. We also have user guide and FAQ tutorial links that you should check out. And let's dive right in. So the PowerUp 2, this is the box that you were supposed to receive. And in the box, as you noticed, you receive a sheet of paper, a charger, and the power unit. We also have a spare propeller right here. And the first thing I want to really recommend is that I'm not sure exactly if you're a parent or a kid, PowerUp really requires, before you go and fly and connect and launch, it requires some patience. If you're a parent to a child, I recommend that you take the time and patience to read through the instructions. This really will ensure that you get the best, exciting performance from the product because there is a learning process, and the learning process is really fulfilling. So take your time, and let's get started. So the first thing is the paper airplane. In the tutorials, you'll see that there are various designs that you can make. I assume that some of you also know how to make your own paper airplane. It's important that for a successful start that you use the airplane design that we recommended first. And after you get successful flights, you're of course welcome to test your own airplanes. We provided a sheet of paper with folding lines, and in order to fold precisely, please follow the Nakamura lock design that you can find on YouTube or on our video on our website poweruptoys.com. Alrighty, so after you fold the airplane, connect the module to the airplane. Just slide it all the way in. And one first tip that I want to recommend is that you can see that I applied here a piece of tape. So this tape is really important because it's going to keep the module flat. If the module is pointing up, the airplane is not going to fly. And the second thing is adjusting and tweaking the elevators and rudder. One common, very big mistake is making too big of a correction, folding up too high the elevator. So this is wrong. This is going to cause the airplane to stall and dive. So raise the elevators really slightly up, just like you would do on a regular paper airplane. And this will ensure that when you launch the airplane, it'll have initially, it will ascend. And then you can gradually trim it. If you see that it's going up too much, you can make a small change. Always make the changes very, very small. The charger uses 3 AA batteries. A few important tips: don't use rechargeable batteries. Don't use used batteries. It's important to use a set of new, fresh batteries, alkaline batteries, to get the best performance. Never charge your unit before you connect it to the airplane. This ensures when the module is connected to the airplane, the propeller is free and won't touch anything, and only then you can give it a spin. Where to fly? So the PowerUp 2 is actually, it's quite fast. It's much faster than an ordinary paper airplane. And you want to fly it outdoors or in a really big closed environment like a gym or atrium. I would recommend to fly in a baseball field, a soccer field. But before you go out flying, be sure that there is no wind. Wind is really an enemy for this product. The PowerUp can fly in windy conditions, but it'll just get lost. It'll drift with the wind, and you may lose it really quickly. So be sure that when you go out flying, check what is the weather condition, and if you see that there is wind, I know this could be quite troubling during the winter time. Check the weather forecast. Wait for those very quiet morning days that there's no wind. If it's actually snowing and it stops snowing, and usually after the snow stops, you may have very quiet days. As long as the snow is dry, there's no problem flying the PowerUp 2. Okay, so you have a nice, quiet, non-windy day. Before you launch your airplane, don't charge it. Give it a test fly, a dry run, what we call. So just take the airplane and launch it heading into the wind. Launching is really important. Learning how to launch takes some practice, but essentially you need to give it a nice gradual toss. Don't throw it too hard, not too soft. Nice gradual toss, heading always into the wind. This is really important. And how do you know what is the wind direction? Well, you can either feel it on your face or wet your finger, or and if there's no wind, of course, it doesn't really matter. Toss your airplane into the wind and watch the airplane glide path. Now, failing often is actually the core concept of the PowerUp, which means in order to perfect your airplane flight path, you really need to understand what's happening with the airplane. And if it's not flying properly, just launching it harder is not going to help. You really need to make a correction cycle. So every time you launch it, if it flies well, great, charge it, launch it. If it doesn't fly well, try to analyze the problem. So let's talk about the different issues that you may encounter. You launched it and you see that the airplane goes up, stalls, and then crashes head down. Well, this is due to the fact that your elevators are raised up too much. Reduce the elevators a bit and give it another try. Remember that every time you launch the airplane, you need to observe the airplane and see that everything is in place. If your module moved, bring it back to place. Launch again and toss it. And if you see you get a nice steady path, you're all ready to go. If your airplane turned for some reason to the left or to the right, you can make a small adjustment to the rear rudder. So if the airplane turned to the right, give it a small squish to the left. Remember, the airplane is very sensitive to the rudder, so the changes need to be really tiny. Okay, once the airplane has a nice glide path, give it a 5-second charge. Don't overcharge it. 5 seconds. And give it a gradual toss and see what happens. If you see that the airplane has a really nice flight path, that's great. Go get it. Never hold your airplane by the wing. It'll change all the dynamics. Hold it by the nose or by the keel. Give it another charge. Launch it again. If you see that the airplane doesn't fly well for some reason, crashes nose down, go back to the drawing board. Look at your airplane. Observe it. See that it's perfectly folded. One of the things that are important is the dihedral angle, the angle between the wings. So if your wings are pointing down, most likely the airplane is going to flip. If your wings are crunched or not symmetrical, then your airplane may turn to the right or to the left. If your wings are raised up too much like this, you may not get enough lift, and your airplane will just not go up. It'll just glide down and will not have an impressive flight. So play with the wing angle. The best angle is about this much, almost horizontal. During flight, the weight will cause the airplane to have a gradual positive dihedral. The dihedral helps the airplane stabilize. Okay, so we talked about failing, the correction cycle, trimming, flying in big spaces, launching into the wind, and the different airplane designs. And if everything fails and it's not working, no problem. Just take another sheet of paper try again. Maybe try another airplane. We have a few recommended designs. The Nakamura lock. The Trainer is a very good airplane to fold and to test. And that's it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise them. Now is the time. Lior, do we have any questions?
We have a question. Do you think your PowerUp can fly in a 3D paper aircraft? Because I can make realistic 3D paper aircraft that want to test with your PowerUp module.
3D printed?
Printed.
Okay. Yes. So the question is if you can connect the module to a 3D printed airplane, not to a paper airplane. And the answer is actually yes. We do have a few customers that tried 3D printing an airframe, and the challenge is that is the weight of the 3D print. What I would recommend for who asked this question?
Foxy 13.
Foxy. Okay, hi Foxy. So I assume if you're asking, you're probably well aware of Thingiverse. Go to Thingiverse and write down PowerUp 3D printed airplane, and you can actually download a design of one of our customers that actually tried this out, and he used it with the PowerUp too. So definitely this should work, and you can get a nice flight out of a 3D printed airplane that you can use with PowerUp. Any other questions?
No, not yet.
So we'll wait just for a few. I see we only have a few viewers left. So as I said again, the secret sauce for PowerUp, and it's a lot of fun, is taking the patience to learn and to fail frequently. Be sure to trim your airplane properly, and before you supercharge it with your batteries, use fresh batteries to charge it and launch it, and always fly in large, big spaces. And once you're happy with your designs, head over and start making your own inventions. And once you do that, be sure to share on Instagram, on Facebook. Please give us a hashtag PowerUp 2.0 and mention our PowerUp toys on your post. You're also welcome to post your videos on our website. We have a section on our website that has you can actually upload your projects. It's called Flight Deck. Just head over there and you can create your own projects. You can actually do projects that others have posted before. And thanks for watching and sharing. Have a great holiday. Bye-bye.